Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Code Realize. We're playing Victor Frankenstein's Root, continuing.
一連の出来事に関してだけど、予想通り、生還しているわけにはいかないみたいだ。
I forgot he talked right at the beginning. Anyway, we're continuing in chapter 10. Chapter 10 is called The British Queen. Obviously, something's going to happen with Victoria. So, I'm going to say this right off the bat. I changed my mic settings to hopefully make me able to be heard whenever I start getting really low and start talking very quietly about things. I noticed sometimes in my playthrough, some words don't come through, especially when I'm laughing. Some words that get cut off and you can't understand really what I'm saying. So hopefully it's not too different from the last video, not too drawing or whatever it is. Hopefully it's not too jarring for you. If it is, I apologize. Let me know if it doesn't sound good. I did test it a few times beforehand to try to get some settings into good places. Also, I didn't like the way that it sounded when I'm up. I don't like that it sounds like the microphone's right in my face, even though it's not. It's like a foot and a half from my face, but sometimes you can just hear me take in a breath, and I didn't like it. I think you could probably hear it sometimes, especially when I'm laughing. It'll probably still come through, but hopefully that's taken care of for the most part. Let's go to Victor Frankenstein's root and figure out what the heck is going on now. We had this person show up at the very end, and we don't know who this person is. Victor looks around at us as he speaks. We're in a cheap apartment in the poor part of town. This is one of Lupin's many hideouts located all throughout London. St. Germain's mansion is no longer safe now that Twilight knows about it. We've decided that it would be best to take Deli and Cece with us and move to this apartment.
僕があの地下研究施設で知り得た事実、状況を整理するためにも一から説明させてもらうよ。まず、黄昏は大規模なテロ計画を練っていた。これはルパンが止めようとしていたテロ計画、それと全く同じものと思っていい。そしてその計画にはジクテリウムという強力な毒素が利用されようとしているんだ。
吸血鬼戦争で使われた毒素だな。
そう、吸血鬼側に甚大な被害を与え、その敗北を決定的にしたとも言われるその毒素だよ。
Before, Victor had seemed different, desperate, when the subject of Zicterium had come up. I wonder how he is connected to the poison.
ジクテリウムを使ったテロ計画の全容は残念ながら僕にもまだわからない。けれど、先日起きたバッキンガム宮殿内の事件。あれはジクテリウムを使ったテロ事件の最初の計画であった公算が大きい。
なんでそんなこと分かっちゃうわけ？
彼女に再会する直前まであの事件を調べていたんだけど、ジクテリウムの運用法が地下で見つけたアイディアと全く同じだった。効果範囲、時間を限定するというより効率のいい運用法がね。
フィーニスの管理下にあった研究施設から第三者がその情報を手に入れることは難しい。となれば、黄昏がそのまま計画を継続していると考えるのが自然ということでしょうか。
ちょっと待て。こいつの捕獲がテロ計画のキーになる。俺が掴んだ情報じゃそうなってたはずだ。
I was wondering about that too. It seems that Finnis saw significant value in me. It feels strange to say this about myself, but don't they need me before they could do anything in their plan?
いや、ちょっと待ってよ。 そもそもフィーニスはもう死んでんじゃん。計画が動いてること自体おかしくね？
黄昏を統括できる人物など限られている。奴が生きているという最悪の可能性も視野に入れておくべきだろうな。
I know, even in the common route, Van Helsing thinks that he's immortal because he wants to kill him again. So that should, you should definitely not rule out the possibility that he's dead.
考えれば考えるほどにわかりませんね。彼は間違いなくあの地下研究所で息絶えたはずなのですが。
Twilight is still after us. It's also under the leadership of a mysterious new commander, as Alistair had mentioned. This, along with the incident at Buckingham Palace supposedly using Zectarium. More questions keep piling up, but there is no clear answer to any of them, and we all fall silent.
このテロは絶対に止めなくちゃいけない。ヨーロッパの情勢は常に均衡状態。これが現実になれば戦争が起きる。
A worldwide war. So much would be lost, not just lives, but culture, civilization, and the history carved into the land. I don't have the words to imagine it, but I know that the countless tragedies and tears will swallow London up.
僕はこの件についてビクトリアに直訴しようと考えてる。
She's gonna capture you as soon as you walk into her palace.
いやフラン、お前指名手配犯じゃん。そんな状態で女王に直訴って。
すでにやっているだろう。一度私たちの保護をもぎ取った時と同様の状況だ。
Impy sits down with a bemused expression on his face.
危険は承知の上だけど、彼女は死生者として優秀だ。この事実を知れば必ず阻止に動いてくれるはず。
言うのは簡単だけどよ。現状でまた直訴なんてそう簡単じゃねえぞ。それこそ監獄覚悟でやらなきゃ無理だろ
う。Victor, is that true?
まあね。でもジクテリウムによるテロが起きた後じゃ何千という人が犠牲になるかもわからない。僕が捕まることくらい大したことじゃないよ。
お前の話にはうなずける部分もあるが、けどよ、まずは理想論を語ってみようぜ。ビクトリアに直訴してお前も捕まらない。そいつが最善ならそれを目指すべきだろ。
Billy stirs from where he has been sitting next to Lupin. He sighs exaggerately.
お前たちはバカなのか？
Billy?
バッキンガム宮殿だぞ。このロンドンどころかイギリスの中枢ではないか。その場所の意味、世も多少は理解している。この少人数で乗り込み女王に会うなどと、愚の骨頂としか言えんだろう。
Billy is extremely calm. It's true we're making plans to enter the resident of the country's ruler using brute force. It won't be easy. But...
いや、みんながそうまで言ってくれるなら、やり遂げてみせるよ。
He's gonna break in.
本気か？
ここにいるみんなは、本当に一流の人たちばかり。みんなの力を結集すれば、きっと実現できる。
一国の女王に相馬を開けずに二度も直談判をするなど前代未聞でしょうね。
まあフランがどうしてもっつうなら手伝うけどさ、俺あの女王様苦手だわ。
フィーニスの残した計画か。いいだろう。死んでいようと生きていようと、奴の目論見はことごとく潰してみせよう。 決まりだな。そんじゃまあ、女王様に謁見作戦パート2開始ってな。
Royal audience.
なんと無謀な。
Victor slowly shakes his head at Deli, who looks at us as if we're all gone mad. Then he says with some vehemence, I don't know how to say that.
うん。これは無謀とは言わない。信頼って言うんだ。
俺たちに頼りもせずに一人で突っ込もうとしてたやつがよく言うよ。
それを言われると弱いかな。
After that, we're putting a new plan together. I catch a moment with Victor when he is not engaged in conversation. Victor, there's something I wanted to ask you. Victor tilts his head to the side as I try to find the right words to tell him about the recent changes to my body. And his journal entry. Lately, the horologium has been acting strangely and I'm not feeling too well because of it.
そんな重大なことどうして黙ってたの？
You've been so busy. Well, I'm fine now, but I thought I should let you know since you've been examining my condition.
とにかくすぐ体を見ないと。
Let's go. Victor leaves his seat and takes my arm. I've never seen him be this aggressive. I'm surprised, but at the same time, his serious expression makes me happy. After that, I find myself somewhere I didn't expect. He said he wanted to examine me, so I had thought it would be a quick check in a different room.
あ、しまった。
Victor sounds surprised as he finishes through his belongings. He said that last night, when we moved from the mansion to the poorer part of town, he left his medical equipment behind. Does he have it now? Because of this, we've had to run to the mansion after only one day of being away. We go around to the back and run in through the courtyard. Luckily, there's no sign of twilight. Van Helsing is accompanying us as a guard.
まったくとんでもない抜けっぷりだな。とにかく私はここにいる。診察だかなんだか知らないが手早くしろ。
I think this is a cute scene coming up.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry too.
いいから行ってこい。あまりのんびりとするなよ。
After all that, Victor now sits in front of me with a serious expression.
さて、それじゃあ最近の体調について教えてくれるかな？
It's not a constant thing, but sometimes the horologium gets hot.
熱くなる？
And it glows like in a rhythm or a wave. Then it feels like the heat and pain spread all the way through my body from there.
それはフィーニスにあのペンダントを押し付けられた時から。
How did you know? I think back to the events from when we went to the underground facility. When Venus pressed that red pendant against me, the horologium suddenly let off a blinding light as my body underwent some kind of change. It's exactly as Victor says. Yes, that's when it started.
そうか。いつもより顔が赤い気もするけど、熱、いや、夕日のせいかな。今、ホロロギウムに変化はない？
I don't think so. Though I do feel a little feverish. I don't know why, but when I look at Victor, I feel that heat build up even more inside me, or nervous.
となると、ホロロギウムの変化がだんだんと潜在化しているのかな。
She's nervous to undergo an examination by Victor.
カルディア、胸元まででいいから脱いでもらえるかな。やっぱりホロロギウムの状態を見ておこう。
She's getting embarrassed.
どうしたの？
He's examined me so many times before. Let's see, I don't know. I don't know.
どうして？
He's like, why? I'm a little embarrassed. When I say this, Victor's face turns bright red.
なんでそういうことになっちゃうのさ。そもそも僕は医者として、錬金術師の責務として君の体を見ているだけだよ。
He talks so fast. He's so nervous.
決してやましい気持ちはないんだからね。
he paused quite a bit before he said clean. What was that a pause for?
なんでもないよ。とにかく診察を始めるからね。
At Victor's prompting, I reluctantly revealed myself. Victor is looking away. It's so cute. I love this scene so much. He's like, must not look. Listen, but not look. Victor, you can't examine me if you don't look in my direction.
うん。それはもちろん分かってるんだけどさ。
So, what's the matter?
君があんなこと言うから、ちょっと、なんていうか、意識しちゃって。
My own cheeks turned red in response. But it would be nice if you'd consider my feelings too.
それは、どういう意味？
I'm the one showing myself to you, so it's way more embarrassing for me.
そうだよね。ごめん。
He's so cute when he's flustered. He stutters and he's very high pitched and fast talking.
おかしいな。出会った頃はお互いなんともなかったのに。きっとこれは君のせいだ。君があまりにも。
Huh? So what?
なんでもないよ。なんでもない。
So what? She's so cute. I think it's your fault.
それはどうして？
I don't want to say. It's so very like girls. It's your fault. Why is that? No reason. Just because. It is. Victor's face gets even redder, and I'm not sure what to do anymore.
いや、今はとにかくきちんとしないと。これは君にとって大事な診察なんだから。
Victor says this with a determined air and looks down at my chest once again.
見た目に変化はないようだけど。
Victor stares at the horologium. He has a serious look on his face. It's the gaze of a doctor or an alchemist. Victor usually is very mellow, and people usually tend to get their way with him, but he is probably in his element now. I look up at his face, lit by the setting sun. At the same time, I feel the weight of the possibility that he might be my father. It's so weird hearing her say that. Eventually, Victor raises his gaze and smiles kindly at me.
大丈夫だと思う。心配しなくていいよ。けど、体調不良は気になるから、何か変化があったらすぐに報告してね。それから、なるべく僕と一緒に行動すること。君に何かあった時にすぐ対処できるようにね。僕ももう君のそばを離れないから。
Yay, finally we don't have someone pushing us away all the time. Victor wants us close. Alright. This makes me feel much better. Victor won't leave me again. I'm surprised how happy this makes me. Hey, Victor? I have the urge to ask him right now. That's good, because let's get this out of the way right now. Even if Victor is my father, there must be a reason behind it. I decided that it would be best to trust Victor instead of wondering about it alone. I want to hear the truth from him.
何？カルディア。
Or maybe not. Dang it. Never mind, it's nothing. Oh my gosh, just ask. I can't bring myself to ask that. I worry that the moment I discover Victor really is my father, the sweet yet painful emotion in my heart would vanish into thin air. Aww, that's so cute. But just ask, like, get it out of the way. You're going to feel much better when he tells you no, that's not the case. A few days later, we're watching Buckingham Palace from afar. The area around the main gate is packed with soldiers. There must be even more guards inside.
こうして見る限りだとやっぱり難しそうだね。
We won't know what'll happen unless we try. The sewer line Lupin told us about will take us all the way under the palace. Once we're ready, let's make our move.
わかった。最善を尽くすよ。
An hour later, we arrive back at the alley in the city. Our goal is the sewer system. During the London reconstruction, the sewers underneath London were optimized to strengthen public infrastructure. There's a path leading to them in one corner of the alley, and these sewer lines obviously spread like a network all through the city, even beneath Buckingham Palace itself. We've gone with Lupin's recommendation to use the sewers as our way to enter the palace. We soon find the entrance to the sewer in a dark corner, just as Lupin had described. We nod at each other, then use the key given to us and slowly enter. Don't go down there. Black, what's his name? Jack the Ripper? he's gonna murder you. You hear the sound of briskly flowing water and the occasional drip. It's strange to think that all the life and excitement of London is right above our heads. We light the lantern that Victor had prepared and advance slowly. Victor holds the lantern as I read the map and compass, and we make our way through the tunnels. The sound of our footsteps echoing brings out the eeriness of the sewers.
今のうちに計画を確認しておこうか。
He whispers as we walk. It sounds the same. It doesn't sound like a whisper. Basically, you and I are the only ones going in, right?
ああ、その通り。
Lupin and the rest helped with preparations and are standing by to aid us if we need arises. Victor and I are the only ones who will be infiltrating the palace. There were a number of reasons why Victor and I were deemed the most suitable for this task. It's far easier to avoid enemy eyes if there are fewer of us entering. Victor is obviously a scholar and I am a woman. That might help us to make us look less threatening and lower the enemy's guard. Victor is the most suited for negotiating since Victoria is after him personally, and everyone already believes that the two of us are villains anyway. Just like Deli said, where we are heading is what became the center of British rule after Father came into the picture. I've noticed I've been breathing shallowly, perhaps from the extreme pressure. Buckingham Palace. I don't think it will be easy feat to meet with the Queen. There's no question we'd be captured if we request to meet her head on. We won't be using the ornithopter like we did last time we spoke with the Queen. This is because she normally is within the palace herself. That means that there would be no point in blindly breaking into the palace. This time we will ideally be entering unnoticed and meeting with her in secret. Ideally. We already know the Queen's schedule thanks to the information from Lupin. Today there will be a period of time in which she'll be alone in the throne room. We'll try to catch her and then get into some quality negotiation time.
それにしても本当にルパンはすごいね。
Obviously it's not going to go as you plan.
女王の予定から宮殿の入り方、警備兵の配置。こんな情報どこから手に入れてくるんだろう。
Lupin is a mysterious man. Maybe he was planning to eventually sneak into the palace on his own at some point.
だとしたら大胆にも程があるね。
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. If it benefited him, he would totally do it. You don't have any right to judge him, though. We're going to be doing that same bold thing ourselves. Victor nods and then stops. The opening that Lupin had mentioned is right above our heads.
ここかな。
It's definitely a strange hole. I'm sure this is the one. We look around and find a ladder extending up into the darkness. Victor takes out his pocket watch and checks the time. How are we doing?
あと5分くらいかな。まだ余裕があるね。
According to Lupin, if we exit the sewer at a certain time, we'll be able to pass through unnoticed. 5 minutes. In short, but it feels like a very long time. We wait, doing nothing in particular. Perhaps it's because I'm nervous, but I feel my anxiety growing stronger. I need to calm down as I'm thinking this. Victor gently takes my hand.
大丈夫。君のことは僕が守るよ。
He's so adorable. Thank you. From what place in his heart are these words coming? Is it because I'm an important friend? Is it because he made me? What am I to him? You should have asked him. Now you're wondering, and you could have had this all cleared out in the beginning. I am happy, yes, but these questions do cross my mind.
それじゃ、行こうか。
Very well. We slowly climb the ladder with Victor taking the lead. My mind wanders for a moment. I think about what would happen if he was captured by the government. What does they want? What do they want Victor to do for them? What knowledge of his are they after? What if the secret information he guards must be put into action? If that were to happen, what will become of Victor? What will become of the government?
よし。大丈夫みたいだ。外に出るよ。ついてきて。
He obviously knows a lot about Zecterium. That's probably the information they want. I actually know what they want, but Zecterium is definitely a part of it. Yes. I start climbing up the ladder again, following Victor, who had gone ahead of me to observe what was going on outside. Once we're outside, I notice that we have made our way into the palace grounds, at the same place we landed when we stormed the palace in the ornithopter. The breeze here outside feels good compared to the depressing humidity of the sewer.
よし。今のところ計画通り。確かにここが警備の穴になってるみたいだ。
The night is still and dark around us. Like Victor says, I don't see any guards anywhere nearby. Moments later, we huddle together in a spot in the shadow provided by a tree.
それじゃ、本格的に潜入行動に移るけど、準備はいいかい？
Roll stealth check. Yes, let's go. I nod, and Victor takes a small device out of his pocket. It's a simple version of the Aether communicator built by MP for us. Unlike the standard version, it can't transmit our voice, but it can inform the group of our location using a unique frequency.
まずはルパンたちに報告と。
Victor looks around cautiously, then presses the button instantly.
あ！
Your stealth check failed. FB's communication device explodes with a tremendous bang and an electric whine. Oh my goodness, you've given away your location. Sparks fly everywhere as it bounces around. Finally, a rising cloud of smoke, it falls silent.
と。
Could it be defective?
そうみたい。
Oops, my bad, guys. I can almost hear MP say in my head.
今の爆発音は何だ？
Oh no.
裏庭の方から聞こえたぞ。例のテロ犯かもしれない。急げ！数を集めてこい。
うわ、まずい。ここは一度引こう。
Right. In a panic, we tried to return to where we exited the sewer.
ビクター・フランケンシュタイン、神聖なる陛下の宮殿に忍び込むとは許しがたし、無駄な抵抗はせずおとなしく捕まるがよい。
Waiting for us is Rampart Landhart, burning with patriotic love for the country as usual. What are you doing here?
深夜の時間帯、この場所は警備が手薄になることなど百も承知。
He just yells it out.
ルパン一味ならば必ずこの隙をついてくると読んで毎夜毎夜張り込んでいたのだよ。
He's very happy about himself.
毎日ここにいたってこと？いつ来るかもわからないのに、すごい根気だな。
はっ、陛下を思う心あればこそよ。さあ観念することだな。
Whoa, he wastes no time. The moment Lionheart finishes speaking, he swings his sword around in a vicious slash. Luckily, Victor is able to dodge it.
うわあ、こうなったら。
He pulls the test tube from his shirt pocket and slams it to the ground. In the next instant, there is a great blast of smoke. Victor must have been paying attention to the wind because the cloud heads straight for Lionheart.
今のうちだ。下水路は諦めるしかない。とにかく逃げるよ。
Victor takes my hand and begins running.
シュタイン博士が宮殿内に侵入した。総員全力で彼らを捕まえろ。
Lionheart's roar chases after us.
ああ、もうインピーってば。何も今失敗しなくていいのに。
I know, right? We run around the courtyard, but it's impossible for us to avoid the guards without any means to fight back. In a matter of minutes, we have both been captured. Oh no. Soon, Victor and I are locked up in separate cells. I had heard from Van Helsing that the palace had its own dungeon. Dungeon? Prison? Queen Victoria had ordered its construction recently. She continues taking strong measures and practices nothing but extreme caution where her safety is concerned. I've heard that it's also something that makes her seem like a strong leader. It sends a message to those around her that anyone who acts against the government will be imprisoned. Not only am I shoved into a cell, I've been handcuffed to completely strip me of my freedom. I suppose this level of caution is inevitable, considering that I am an accomplice to a known terrorist. A known terrorist? He hasn't done anything. They don't seem to know about the existence or effects of my poison, though. You're gonna... poison, huh? Yeah, you're gonna burn through your handcuffs. The word monster surfaces in my mind again. Why did he make me like this? And the note in Victor's journal, if he's really my father... Victor is my father. The words feel unpleasantly weighty in my mind. No, he's not. I hear footsteps approaching. I tense my body just a little, waiting for the person coming closer to appear.
おとなしくしているようだな。
Lionheart.
レディーをこんな場所に閉じ込めるのは心情に反するが、これも公務だ。許してほしい。
What do you want from me?
ああ、比例について謝ろうと思ってな。
Aw, he's adorable too. Rude. We're the ones who broke into the palace, and it's your duty to capture us. I don't think manners are involved in this.
的確な意見だ。だが、我が輩が謝りたいのは過去のこと。君を無理やり連れ去ろうとしたことだ。
Aw, he's apologizing for that too.
我が輩の部下は君を怪物と言った。決して女性に向けていい言葉ではない。そのことがずっと気になっていたのだが。あの後、君はルパンに連れ去られ、謝罪の機会を逃していたのでな。
I don't mind. I think monster is an accurate term.
そうか。
Aw, he seems so dejected. Did you come here just to apologize?
いや、真意を聞かせてほしい。シュタイン博士にもこの後話を聞きに行くつもりだが、彼はこのロンドンで一体何をするつもりなのだ。
I don't know, but there's no way that Victor could have committed an act of terrorism. He's a kind person. He could never kill anyone. And Victor said that he wanted to stop the terrorist. How could he be responsible for...
テロを止める？どうやってだね？
Something is odd here. Lionheart leans forward slightly in anticipation after I mention stopping the terrorists. I don't know how exactly, but Victor would never carry out a terrorist attack. He genuinely wants to stop it. Would it be possible for us to speak with Victoria? I want to talk with her directly regarding the terrorist attack. Maybe that way she'll come to understand our perspective. I ask, hoping against all odds that we'll be given a chance, but Lionheart shakes his head.
それは陛下の決めることだ。我が輩には何とも言えぬな。
I see. If matters advance without our words reaching her, I wonder if she has the means to resolve the situation. Being the queen of a nation is such a distant concept to me. I can't even fathom what goes on in her mind. Do you trust Victoria? Do you think she can stop the terrorists? I don't understand her. The way she's treating Victor only makes it look like she is tricking everyone and forcing his hand.
いや、陛下は正しい行いをしようとしている。そのためには手段を選ばない。あの方は心の強きお方なのだ。
She has you wrapped around her finger. Lionheart narrows his eyes and speaks with a voice of recollection.
昔、我が輩は貧困街のゴロつきだった。幼い妹と共に生きるためには犯罪に手を染めるほかなくてな。陛下の女王就任パレードの日もスリを行おうとして捕まり、そこで衛兵に痛めつけられていた時、救ってくださったのが陛下だったのだ。我が輩の身の上を聞いた陛下は、金に換えて当座をしのぐがよいと身につけていた飾りを賜った。そして我が輩にその気があれば衛兵になるがよいと職を約束し、豊かな国を目指すとそう約束してくださった。その時より我が輩は陛下の剣として生きることを決めたのだ。故に陛下こそ最高の死生者であると我が輩は今日まで疑ったことがない。
Lionheart's story is surprising. Victor seems to think of Victoria as an enemy of sorts, but Lionheart truly respects her. Which one of these is the real Victoria?
これから君にはあまり歓迎できない事態が待っているだろう。
What?
だがどうか陛下を信じてほしい。あのお方は国を愛するがゆえに戦っておられるのだ。
With this, Lionheart bows once to me before turning and leaving the dungeon. She calls it a dungeon. You want me to believe in Victoria? Lionheart's voice seems to indicate that this is an earnest plea. It's difficult to tell what's going on through his mind as he spoke, but at least for now, I can't just sit here and do nothing. I take a deep breath and switch mental gears. Time to put our plan into action. Getting caught, that is, getting put in the palace dungeon, was one of the first steps in our plan to begin with. This is where our mission actually begins. This was part of the plan. That's funny. I check and make sure that the prison guard has fallen asleep at his post, then I gently raise my handcuffs to my lips. The chains react to my poison right away, smoke rising from the melting metal. In a matter of minutes, the handcuffs peel away, leaving my hands free once again. At least it comes in handy in times like these. It's not difficult to escape the cell either. I gently place my index finger over the door's keyhole. Just as the cuffs had, the area around my finger begins to melt away and slowly turns into a steel-colored mush. Then, I open the door to the cell and walk out into the hallway, trying to avoid making any loud noises. Roll stealth check. Just don't touch a peas bomb. The guard is still asleep. Thankful for my good fortune, I cautiously approach the guard and... I'm sorry! Whack! I knock him out cold using just my hands, a technique Van Helsing had taught me. Where is Victor? I take the keys from the unconscious guard and lock him up in a different cell than the one I had been held in. Then I make my advance quietly. I already know the location of where Victor is being held. I use the infiltration skills Lupin taught me to the fullest and somehow make my way all the way there without being caught. I find Victor's cell right away. This is where things get a bit difficult. As expected, Victor's cell is heavily guarded, with 4 guards all crammed into a narrow hallway. The pressure is much higher than when I made my escape. From here, Victor and I will have to work as a team. First, Victor, I've come here to rescue you. My sudden appearance attracts the guard's attention.
貴様どうやって
The guards start to rush towards me when something rolls by them, a button from Victor's white lab coat. It comes to a stop near the guard's feet. Then it releases a blast of white smoke that instantly fills the corridor.
なんだこりゃ目が痛い
くそ応援を
Not gonna happen. I run between the guards in their confusion and knock them out one after another. That's everyone.
すごい手際だね。
I was only able to handle them because you distracted them. If they'd been ready for me, I probably could have only taken one.
それでもすごいよ。バンの訓練のおかげだね。
I give him a brisk nod. Oh no. Suddenly the horologium gives off an intense heat and the pain drives me to my knees.
カルディア
I'm fine. There was a flash of pain and heat, but I'm alright. I can move. There's no problem.
本当に無理をして取り返しがつかなくなる前に君だけでも引き返した方がいいんじゃ。
It's true that the pain had been so unbearable that I couldn't stand, but it's also true that I feel completely fine now. I shake off the feelings of doubt that are beginning to spread within me and look at Victor again. No, I'm fine. Let's just keep moving forward. We're here to stop the terrorist attacks. Let's meet with Victoria and get her to see our side.
ああ、わかった。確かに君の言う通りだね。
I smile and nod. I'll get you out. Hold on. I set him free the same way I had let myself out and melt his handcuffs.
ありがとう、カルディア。
I'm glad we're both alright. Victor nods silently.
それじゃあ行こう
Slightly.
か。玉座の間はここからそう遠くない。いよいよ目的を果たす時だね。
Yes. If Lupin's information is correct, Victoria should be alone in the throne room right this moment. Except that she's probably not, because Lionheart's like on guard completely. I'm sure there will be a few guards on duty. We'll have to get past them somehow.
カルディア、覚悟はいい？
Let's go. I wouldn't have come this far if I wasn't ready.
それもそうだ。
I try not to fall behind as Victor begins to dash down the halls and I break into a run to keep up. We finally arrive. Queen Alexandria Victoria's throne room in Buckingham Palace. However, she's not there.
おかしい。
She's not locked down. I mean, there's a terrorist in her castle. Victor's first words upon our arrival accurately describe the situation. Although this was a covert operation, we have prepared to face some resistance. We arrived here without running into a single soldier. It was so trouble-free as if we were being invited in. More importantly, there is no trace of Victoria who is supposed to be here. Does this mean that Lupin was misinformed?
もしくは僕らに探られていることを察知した誰かが。
I get a strange feeling. It isn't silent in here, but there's the sound of many people being careful not to make any noise. Oh no. I suddenly get chills from an odd sensation. It feels as if we're being watched by a great number of eyes.
総員射撃用意構え
I think he knew you're going to escape. Which means, because he said you're going to be forced to be in a situation that you don't really find pleasant. I hear a booming voice and guards appear from their hiding places in the shadows. Lionheart,
クソ
Victor stands protectively in front of me and looks around us. It's hard to believe so many soldiers could have been hiding in here. They quickly form a half circle around us. Well, I mean, they were kind of hiding. You noticed their presence.
我が輩は陛下を信じてほしいとそう伝えたはずだがね。このようなことになって残念だよ。
We hear a series of footsteps that seems to shatter the tense silence in the room. The guards directly ahead of us step aside to clear a path and raise their guns in salute. Walking towards us is the commanding woman with a beautiful smile.
ビクトリア
相変わらず怖い顔ね、シュタイン博士。そちらのお嬢ちゃんもお久しぶり。ご機嫌いかがかしら。あら、国の頂点に立つ私に対して随分とつれない反応ね。神戸を垂れるくらいはしなさいな。
She chuckles as if she couldn't care less about the air of tension that permeates the room.
それにしても無茶をするわね。黙って捕まっていればこちらから会いに行ったのに。
お前の思う通りに動くなんて誰がするものか。
面白いことを言うわね、シュタイン博士。今あなたはまさに私の思い通りに動き、そしてこうして捉えられている。ユーモアが言えるようになったのね。
She sure does take in a really loud, deep breath when she talks, doesn't she? It kind of hurts my ears. He's not going to talk. How did you know we would come here?
あなたたちは数こそ少ないものの、一人一人がとても優秀な人材の集まり。仲間であるシュタイン博士にあらぬ疑惑がかけられれば、また必ず何かしらの行動を起こすと考えていたわ。
But she did do it on purpose. She wrongfully accused him.
以前、式典にオーニソプターで墜落まがいのことをした連中だもの。次もまた直接対話に臨もうとするはず。狙うのは私個人。とくれば、警備の少ない私が一人の時を狙うのが定石。もう分かったでしょ？私自身の予定。一人でいる時というのは、初めからあなたたちをおびき出すための餌だったのよ。
Oops. That's what I wanted to do. She smiles at us calmly. However, our panic only grows when we are faced with the current crisis.
それで今回も同じ内容でいいのかしら。指名手配を取り下げてほしいの？
それも交渉したいところだけど、今はもっと重要な用事がある。
捕まれば死罪になるこの状況より重要な用事があるということかしら。
ああ、その通りだ。
それは私への復讐？
そんなことじゃない。もっと大きな、このイギリスすべてが関わるようなことだ。
イギリスすべてが。
Victoria's mood takes on a noticeable shift. While she had been almost ethereal, cryptic, and seemingly above us all, suddenly she is as sharp as a naked blade. Such is the force of her gaze.
ここにいる者たちは皆、真に国を憂う私の忠実な兵士。真剣に聞いてあげるわ。その用事とやら、話してみてくれるかしら。
She gestures at Victor, indicating that he should speak now. The pressure in the room is still intense, as if to remind us that the wrong word or move could get us shot on the spot.
黄昏が主体となって大規模なテロ計画が進行してる。それもジクテリウムを主とする計画だ。お前が僕を指名手配したジクテリウムを使ったテロ事件、あれもおそらくは黄昏が自分たちから視線をそらすために仕組んだもの。テロ計画はヨーロッパ各国首都での大量殺人が目的だ。ビクトリア、このイギリスの死生者としてテロを止めてほしいんだ。
He explains how the attack using the Zectarium would be carried out. It's such an intricate plan that with my limited imagination, I find it hard to think that it could ever happen in this world.
どうか信じてほしい。僕もこの国を、この町を、ロンドンを死の町になんてしたくないんだ。
Victor's desperate pleas are the only sound in the room, and all I can do is stand and watch. There is a moment of silence. Queen Victoria has closed her eyes, and it's difficult to tell what she thinks.
残念だけど、あなたの言葉を聞くことはできないわ。
Her words of rejection are delivered so calmly and politely.
本当のことなんだ。ロンドンのある場所にアイザックの残した研究施設がある。そこに行けば全てわかるはずだ。僕がテロ犯ではないことも、この国に迫る本当の危機も。
信じないとは言っていないわ。
ならどうして？
あなたの言葉をすべて信じた上で、テロを止めることはしたくないと、私はそう言っているのよ。
She won't stop them because she's a part of them. I'm unsettled by these words and can't help but speak up. Why not? Why won't you stop them? I had to ask the question, even though I was already afraid of what her answer would be. She smiles as she responds.
だって、そのテロ計画を推し進めているのは、この私だもの。
Plot twist, the ruler of the country is a terrorist. What?
この宮殿でのテロも私が犯人。ただ、演出用にとはいえ、貴重なジクテリウムを使ってしまったのが残念ね。
She sighs disdainfully, as if the matter didn't involve the murder of countless innocents. Then she looks over at us and speaks boldly, as if to clarify things once and for all.
黄昏を使ってテロを起こしたのはこの私。フィーニス、そしてアイザックの計画をそのまま私が引き継いだだけのこと。
本気で言ってるのか？なんでそんなことを？
イギリスのために必要な選択だからよ。2年前の吸血鬼戦争と同じようにね。
Yep, she's responsible for the vampire war too. The vampire war, an attempted genocide against Delhi's race by the British government. The humans were victorious and Delhi's people lost everything they had.
必要な選択？違う。お前が取ったのは最悪な選択だ。
いいえ、これは必要な選択よ。
あの地獄を一度でも見れば、そんなことは言えないはずだ。お前たちの使ったジクテリウムが一体どれほどの命を奪ったと思っているんだ。
その地獄を何度もこの目で見た上で必要な選択だったと言っているのよ、シュタイン博士。
Victor is unable to contain his anger, but Victoria remains cool and composed. The two confront one another from the opposite ends of the spectrum. You said the terrorism was necessary. Why is that?
言ったでしょ。イギリスがイギリスであるため、すべてはこの国のためを思ってこそよ。
She says this concedingly.
前王エドワードは植民地政策において他国に対して強固策を取り続けた。圧倒的な海軍力を背景に他国の植民地を奪い富を独占。そのおかげでイギリスは強国になったけれど、当然その代償は大きかった。欧州のすべての国が手を取り合ってイギリスを潰す気を伺い始めたのよ。イギリス対世界、そんな戦いが始まろうとしていたの。だから軍拡が何よりの急務だった。そんな折、アイザック・ベックフォードという天才がイギリスに現れてくれたのはこの国にとって幸いだったわ。アイザックの発明発見をもとにイギリスは強大な軍事力を得た。けれどそれでも世界を相手にするには足りない。我が英国の軍事力を実際以上に大きく見せ、各国を萎縮させる必要があった。つまり実演が必要だったのよ。
And you targeted the vampires?
ええ、他国を侵略せず、けれど遺憾なく自国の力量を見せつける。この国にとって吸血鬼はまさに理想的な相手。
It makes sense why this route is recommended third, so you can learn that through Van Helsing, and then because Victoria just gives it away in Victor's route.
もともとア人種は数も少なく、民衆からすれば興味のない相手。それを有効活用させてもらったのよ。
そんな理由で？
そんな理由？あの戦争がなければ間違いなくイギリスはなくなっていたわ。他国による侵略という最も屈辱的な形でね。
Wasn't there any other way? Dialogue, diplomacy, methods like that?
それが最善ならばそうしていたわ。けど当時取り得る選択肢の中ではあの戦争こそが唯一の手段だった。そして今時はなったの。イギリスの技術力、軍事力はこの数年で欧州の総力を凌駕するに至った。前王エドワードが残した禍根は消えず、彼が生み出した争いの種は未だくすぶっている。身から出たサビといえばそれまでのこと。けどだからといってイギリスが滅びていいことにはならない。この国で日々を暮らす者たちの安寧が奪われていいことにはならない。イギリスの軍事技術は機密として厳格に保持しているつもりだけれど、そう遠くない未来、技術は漏れ出し、今この国が持つ圧倒的な優位性は消えてしまうでしょう。
Which is why she's desperate to have Victor stay within London.
そうなればこの国と国民に待っているのは破滅だけ。だからこそこのイギリスが生き残る今の最善の方法はただ一つ。
Well, if Britain does fall under despair and catastrophe, like you said, it's all because you made that possible by being a threat and being a bully to other people.
今このタイミングで世界大戦を引き起こし、圧倒的軍事力のもとこの欧州すべてをイギリスの統治下に置くこと。戦力差は大きければ大きいほど戦争の被害は小さくて済む。だから私はここで戦争を引き起こすの。お分かりかしら。
Victoria's words are one of those who carries the weight of an entire nation on her shoulders. Yeah. It must be such a heavy burden and the decision not an easy one to make. When she delivers her plans to us with such confidence and resolve, I almost find myself swept up in her views. Why would you need to stage a terrorist attack in order to achieve this?
私はこれまで王政の権力を強め、議会の発言権をゆっくりと弱めてきたわ。けれど、欧州すべてを敵に回すとなれば、おじけづくものも出てくる。この戦争、一枚岩でなければ勝てないわ。ならば、悲劇とも言える出来事を起こし、その怒りの矛先を敵を与える。
だから宮殿での事件を演出だと。国全体を戦争に向かわせるための後押しということか。
その通りよ。身内が敵に殺されれば、人は誰しもその敵を憎むでしょう。そしてシュタイン博士、あなたは捕まった後、フランスの内通者として発表される。そしてその後、欧州各国、スペイン、オランダ、ドイツ、さまざまな国では同様のテロが次々に発生。逮捕される者は皆当然イギリスに関わる者。各国は大混乱に陥る。そうなってしまえば、イギリスと欧州の対立は決定的。戦争は誰にも止められなくなる。そしてその大戦の先、最後に立っているのはこのイギリスという筋書きよ。
The scale of this plot is too huge for me to keep up with.
だからといってイギリスの存命のために関係のない命を奪っていいはずがないだろう。テロで犠牲になる人たちにお前の正義は通じない。
面白い人ね。やはりあなたは研究室の中で自分の研究に没頭しているのがお似合いよ。
何？
誰が正義と言ったの？私は悪よ。恨まれることも嫌われることも全て当然。イギリスという国を守るためなら、私はいくらでも悪にまみれ汚れていく覚悟ができていてよ。シュタイン博士、あなたはどうなの？あなたには私を覆すことができるほどの信念があって。
Victor doesn't say anything but stands still, his tightly gripped fist shaking. Then Victoria looks at us and smiles.
あなたたちをすぐに殺すなんてことはしないわ。だって私にはあなたたちが必要なんですから。シュタイン博士、そしてカルディアちゃん。
Because Venice's plans included Cardia, and she knows of Venice's plan. How did you know my name?
シュタイン博士の言っていた地下研究所。あの場所はすでに私たちも確認済みよ。そこでアイザック、フィーニス、そしてあなたに関するいくつかの資料も見つけた。お名前はその時に知ったのよ。でも驚いたわ。まさかアイザックが娘を作っていたなんてね。生前の彼にもそんな感情が残っていたのね。
Before his death, I immediately react to Victoria's choice of words. Yep, that means Victor is not your father. Do you know my father?
当然でしょ。この国の根幹を作り変えた男よ。国の代表である私が知らないはずがないわ。
Her words prompt me to look over at Victor. It's my fault Cardia was created. Judging from Victoria's attitude, Victor is not my father. Then why did he write that in his own journal?
話がそれてしまったけど、先に言ったように、今すぐあなたたちを殺すなんて野蛮なことはしないから安心なさい。私はただ、ちょっとしたお願いがあるだけ。その条件を満たしてくれるなら、私は今回の指名手配を解除し、何もなかったことにしてあげられる。
After everything you said, why would Victor ever agree to do anything you want?
要求は何だ？
Victoria smiles gleefully, hearing the animosity in his quiet voice.
相手の話を聞こうというその姿勢はとても好感が持てるわ。シュタイン博士、あなたへの望みは以前と何ら変わらない。ジクテリウムの生みの親として再びその生成をお願いしたいの。
Yep, the creator of Zicterium. It finally comes out. Oh no. What? Victor created Zicterium? That's why he's been so tormented about the vampire war and said he's a horrible person because he created the very thing that wiped out the entire race. Except for Delhi. Under Victoria's initiative, alchemists attempt to create the Philosopher's Stone, accidentally discovering Zicterium. I remember this clearly as Victor had told me about it before. Victor created Zicterium? When Victor had been talking about researchers, did he mean himself? Seeing my reaction, Victoria continues to speak.
あら、あなたの顔を見る限り、そこまでは聞かされていなかったのかしら。けど、これで納得いったんじゃないかしら。彼がどうしてジクテリウムというものに強く執着しているのかという理由。それは
僕が発見してしまったそれが多くの命を奪う原因になっている。そんなの黙って見てられないんだ。
Victor glares at the queen as if he might charge at her at the slightest provocation.
天才的と言われ、錬金術師として遺憾ない功績を残したビクター・フランケンシュタイン。あなたが偶然生み出したそれはもう偶然で済ますことができないものなのよ。イギリスのために、国民のために必要不可欠。ジクテリウムの製造方法を知るのはこの世にただ一人、あなただけ。あなたには一国を動かすほどの価値があるのよ。研究施設にあった資料によれば、ロンドンのどこかに未使用に終わった大量のジクテリウムが眠っているという話だけれど。
So I thought it was her that was keeping the Zicterium in a secret location, but I guess she doesn't even know where it is.
そちらは今のところ影も形も捉えられていないから当てにはできない。あなたを頼るしかないの。
Well, he's definitely not going to agree.
政府の保護下に入り、ジクテリウムの生成を再び行い、その知識をこのイギリスに明け渡して、それだけでこのイギリスは滅びを避けることができるのだから。
Whatever, you don't have to go to war. So Victor's knowledge that the government has been after him for is about how to make Zicterium.
今、あなたが取るべき選択。言わずともわかるでしょ。
Victor shakes his head in response to her half threat, half invitation.
何度聞いても同じだ。断りよ、ビクトリア。
あら、なぜかしら。
たとえ国を守るためだとしても、目の前に生きる罪なき人々を殺していい理由にはならない。命を奪うだけの兵器、そんなものを作るために僕は錬金術を学んだんじゃない。
その兵器を作ることで結果的に多くのものを救うことができるとしても、
一度作られた兵器は何度だって利用される。兵器は兵器だ。人を殺すための道具であって、人を救うための道具じゃない。僕は絶対に従わない。
Victor looks back at the queen with a fierce resolve. He stands tall and confident, even while surrounded by guns. I've never seen him so gallant before.
骨のある坊やは嫌いじゃないわ。 ではシュタイン博士、あなたの処遇については後ほど検討するとして。カルディアちゃん、私からあなたにプレゼントがあるの。
Oh
受け
no.
取ってもらえるかしら。
For me? I'm caught off guard by the sudden attention.
レオンハルト。
I think I know what it is. This is what I mean by she has him wrapped around his finger. Like, he doesn't want this. That's why he was so interested in stopping the terrorist attack. But it's for his queen, and he'll do anything for his queen. I think he's actually in love with her too, which makes it even worse. Lionheart takes a step toward me at the moment his name is called and hands me a small box. Oh, no. I open it and find a small golden pocket watch. However, this watch only has one hand to indicate the passage of time. I thought it was like the red pendant at first from Fitness. I thought she was gonna like go all out in pain. The numbers on the face are not the standard ones usually seen on a clock. What's this? I think it's like her ticking time bomb or something.
あなたのために作らせた特別な時計よ。その時計はね、あなたがあなたでいられる残り時間を示しているの。
Yep. Her ticking time bomb until you're no longer yourself. What? Uh-oh.
その反応、気づいていたようね。
Aw, so when Victor says she's fine, she's really not fine. He just wanted her to feel okay about it. Yep. She has a time limit. Something's gonna happen.
そして気づいていてあえて言わなかった。優しくて弱い。あなたらしい選択よ。
Victor turns his face away, avoiding my eyes. When he speaks, it is with great caution.
君の体のことだよ。ホロロギウムが変化し始めている。その性質が変わろうとしてるんだ。
It's changing, so where exactly does that leave me? Victoria, sensing my doubt, chimes in.
あなたが正真正銘の怪物になるということよ。誰も止めることのできない死の怪物にね。
I'll become a monster? I'm unable to respond right away to this sudden revelation. I should be completely used to being called a monster by now. I'm an artificial life form with a deadly poison that eats away at anything I touch running through my veins. Even so, why do I feel so anxious? I am already a monster. How much worse could I possibly become?
あの研究施設でフィニスはあなたにあることをした。それはホロロギウムの覚醒。
She draws something from a pouch or pocket in her dress. That's... Yep, the red pendant. The object in her hand that is the very same thing Finis held against my chest at the research facility. I don't know what it's called, but it's that pendant with that red gem. My hands automatically clutch my chest as I remember the unbearable heat I had felt at that moment.
これについても資料に書かれていたわ。カルディア、このペンダントはあなたという存在をより上位のものに作り変えるための重要な品のようね。覚醒させられたあなたは一定の時間を経た後、ある状態へとなり変わる。
That will be the force of death. Victoria smiles at my weak whisper.
察しが良くて助かるわ。その状態になってしまえば、あなたはもう誰にも止めることができなくなる。なぜなら、
体内にとどまっていた毒が君を中心として広範囲に展開される。変質したそれには既存の防毒も意味をなさない。
I think she basically like erupts. Like it's all released all at once and everyone within reach of her just dies.
その範囲は数メートルなんて小さなものじゃない。下手をすればこの町のロンドンのすべてが君の毒によって死に至る。
So not just people near her, all of London's going to die. No, that can't. Victor's words caused me to stagger back a few steps.
そこまで分かっていながら隠していたの？あなたの優しさは本当にタッチが悪いわね。ビクター・フランケンシュタイン。
Yeah, a little bit questionable. It's like, I don't want to tell her because I don't want her to worry, but at the same time, you're going to explode and kill everyone. Aww. Unfazed by Victor's piercing glare, the queen calmly continues speaking.
カルディア、よく聞きなさい。その時計は私たちが資料をもとに臨界点までの時間を計算したものよ。残り30時間であなたはこの世で最も厄介な怪物になる。判断する時間はあまりにも短いわ。
So, in 30 hours, you want him to create enough Zectarium to start a war. How is that possible? 30 hours. That's all the time I have left. In a little over a day, I will be the center of a cloud of death.
それを見ればわかるでしょ。本当に手遅れになる前にここに来てくれてよかった。ママの代わりにお前が死ねばよかったのに。
But even as Victoria speaks,
お前は愛を知ってはいけない。
I hear my own voice in my head.
私にはあなたを保護する用意がある。あなたが怪物になってしまったとしても誰も殺さなくていいように管理できる。カルディア、私に従いなさい。
Victoria's words have a gentle ring. She extends her hand to me as if inviting me in.
カルディア、彼女の言葉を聞く必要なんてない。君の毒は僕が必ず何とかしてみせる。
たった30時間で？
ああ、30時間もあれば十分だ。
If he's known this whole time, he's probably already been preparing for this, and he's probably way ahead of 30 hours.
それは根拠のない強がりではないの、シュタイン博士。
強がりなんかじゃない。これは覚悟だ。僕は必ず彼女を救ってみせる。彼女からその毒を絶対に消してみせる。
His determination is so adorable. Victoria throws Victor a derisive glance at his outburst, then turns back to me with an unchanging thin smile.
このまま放っておけば、あなたはあなたの大切な人を自分のせいで全て殺してしまう。今、あなたの隣にいるシュタイン博士だって、あなたの毒で死んでしまうのよ。
Sure, bring Victor into this. I cautiously glance over at Victor. His expression is tense. Just the thought of his death makes me extremely uneasy.
そうならないように、私があなたを保護しようと、そう私は提案しているの。
I'm sorry, I still have D&D on the brain because we just had a session today, my husband's campaign, so it's like both of them are trying to convince her. I'm like, just roll a persuasion check, and whoever has the highest check wins.
共にいらっしゃい、カルディア。私があなたを助けてあげる。
I mean, the look, you sound genuine, you have the look of genuine, but it's Victor. I mean, we're gonna go with Victor. Sorry. Memories of my past began to surface in my mind as if summoned by what she says. A loved one. Her voice growing weaker. A dark cave. A body unmoving. That's right, I am...
カルディア、誘いに乗っちゃダメだ。ビクトリアは君を利用するつもりなんだ。言うことを聞く必要なんてない。
ほら、そうやって本気であなたを案じてくれるシュタイン博士のためにも、こちらへ。
Who genuinely wants to save you. We, on the other hand, don't genuinely want to save you. We just want to use you. That sounds about right. The Queen and Victor stand to either side of me. She beckons me unmistakably. If I take her hand, will I be spared from killing anyone? Will I be spared from killing those I love? Will I be spared from killing Victor with my own hands? If I'm only going to relive my past mistakes and the poison within me will eventually kill Victor, these words, man. If only Victoria, even if Victoria is only trying to use me, I want to be under her protection. It's these thoughts that prompt me to take a step forward, but Victor stops me, putting a hand on my shoulder.
言っちゃダメだカルディア
Listen to Victor, go with him.
落ち着いて僕の目を見て
Stay close to him, he wants you close. I don't want to become a monster.
僕の声を聞くんだカルディア
Aww. he's so desperate, man. Okay, so we're going to do a save file here. Wait, when? Okay, I'm just going to record over this one because I think that was the start of Victor's route. So we're going to step back, and step forward leads to a bad ending, so we'll do that later. I'm sorry, Victoria. I can't do as you ask either. If Victor says that he can save me, I'm going to trust him. I realize that my happiness depends on staying by his side and supporting him. No matter what anyone says, I can't go with you. Victor rolled the higher persuasion check. I take a step away from the queen.
カルディア
He's so cute.
ありがとう僕を信じてくれて僕は君を救うよ絶対に
I know, you're the most reliable person I know. Sigh.
あなたたちの気持ちは分かったわ。無理強いはしたくなかったけれど仕方ないわね。あなたたちを幽閉して考えを改めるように働きかけるしかないよね。
I'm going to restrain you so that way when you turn to a monster, the first thing you're going to kill is everyone in the palace.
悪いけどそう何度も捕まる義理もないよ
Victor has an escape route planned.
言うだけなら誰にでもできるわ。この状況からどう逃げるというの？
I guess it's the soldiers surrounding us tightening their grip on their weapons as if anticipating Victoria's orders. Victor doesn't respond to her question and remains still, simply observing the room.
レオンハルト、発砲の号令を足を狙わせなさい。
Her voice is cold. It's obvious that she has decided that we are her enemy. However, oh, he doesn't want to.
レオンハルト、どうしたの？
A fleeting expression of doubt crosses Lionheart's face.
カルディア目を閉じて
Seizing the opportunity, Victor rips a button from his coat and dashes it to the floor. A mind-numbing, high-pitched noise and intense light fills the throne room.
逃がしてはならない。必ず捕まえなさい。
While the Victoria's command is loud and clear, the soldiers suffered the brunt of the flash and are in no condition to act.
逃げるよカルディア
I'm sorry, but if you yell at Cardia to close your eyes, my instinct as a guard would be to close my eyes too, to avoid this, but whatever. Victor takes my hand and starts running. I have to run at full speed so I can keep up with him.
カルディアまだ走れるかい
Yes, I'm fine. This reminds me of like chapter 2 when he's walking up the stairs and the doctor's like, who am I seeing? The asthmatic over here. Poor guy. We evade our pursuers and exit the palace. Now, as long as we can escape the palace grounds, we can lose them in the London crowds. Or so we thought.
いたぞ捕らえろ逃がしはしないぞビクター・フランケンシュタイン
There are already many soldiers gathered in the courtyard. Victor pulls me close and looks around us. There's no place for us to run.
大丈夫応援が来たみたいだ
Ornithopter. Victor looks up at the night sky as he whispers this to me, cutting through the darkness. I knew it.
カルディアちゃん、フラン、助けに来たよ。
Hippie. I never get tired of his voice. He's just like, he always speaks as if he's the knight in shining armor. I'm here to save you. The ornithopter approaches, piloted by MP.
奴らの仲間か。
There's more of them. Do you not know Lupin's group? Like, come on.
今は無視しろ。目標を捉えることが先決だ。そいつは困る。俺たちを無視なんてさせねえよ。
Lupin will not be ignored. Lupin pops his head out of the edge of the ornithopter and drops several small orbs onto the soldiers.
手榴弾？そういった日、退避！
Take cover! The soldiers run off in a panic. He's not gonna bomb you. A colorful array of fireworks give them.
どうよ、ビビったかい、兵士諸君。
I know, don't y'all look dumb now?
バカにしよって。全員、発砲準備。
As the soldiers take aim, the ornithopter dies and then levels out to the ground. It's still going quite fast.
どけどけどけ。
It's a drive-by shooting? I don't understand. No. Trailing smoke zooms through the crowd of soldiers.
目くらましか。
Quick, throw out a ladder. Grab them.
前が見えない。敵はどこに行った？
インピーとルパンに感謝だね。今のうちに逃げよう。
I nod vigorously in agreement. I'm not sure what happens between now and the next thing that I remember in this chapter. Not chapter, this route. Because I thought that there's like secret stuff hidden in the palace that they go find. But maybe it's not even in the palace. We run and run, and we finally escape, reaching the place that seems safe.
なんとか逃げ切れたね。
Poor Victor, he's not cut out for running. He must be tired from running at full speed. Victor leans against the wall with a smile, watching me.
改めて君はすごいな。これだけ走っても息切れ一つしないなんて。
That's right. I suppose my body is definitely designed to be unique.
あ、ごめん。人じゃないとかそういうつもりじゃなくて。
Don't worry, I know what you meant. We take a break for several minutes so he can catch his breath. Afterwards, Victor turns back to me.
きっと君は今混乱してるだろうね。たくさんの真実を一度に知らされて。
Yes, I feel like my head's going to explode.
隠していてごめん。君が少しでも悩まないように、辛くないようにって、僕は僕の思いを君に押し付けたんだ。
Victor looks serious. For some reason, I can't look him in the face and stare at the pocket watch instead. There's only one hand, and it is just past... Just past what? It is just past. Okay. When the hand reaches 0 is when I will become a monster. I wonder if that's true. Maybe it's best for everyone if I go someplace where I can't hurt any people and stay in hiding. Aw. It's just an idea that pops into my head, but... Aww.
させないよ。僕が絶対にそんなことさせない。
I think Victor has the cutest CGs out of everything. He's so intimate with her, and he cares for her so much. He has the, I think I don't remember all of Saint Germain's CGs, but I think Victor has the most, like, like touchy feely CGs where he's just gotta hold her and stuff like that. It's really cute. He lets his feelings show through physical actions, I guess. He gently but firmly takes my hand as if to say that he would never let go.
君は何度も僕を助けてくれた。何も知らないはずなのに、ひたすら僕の身を案じてくれた。僕のことを大切だと言ってくれた。そんな君のことを一人になんてできるわけないじゃないか。君をこのまま死をまき散らす怪物になんて絶対にさせない。
I feel Victor's grip on my hands tighten.
君は優しい女の子だ。怪物なんかにさせてたまるか。
The sincerity of his words drilled straight into my heart along with his earnest gaze. Touched by his sincerity, I find myself thinking, reaffirming, this man is so precious to me. That's what I feel right now. Aww. Just tell him right now. Victor gently releases me.
それに君を救うことは僕の償いでもあるんだ。
But don't tell her that. Now she's going to think that your feelings for her is like not the same as her feelings. It's just your way of atone for what?
アジトに戻ろう。そこで全て話すよ。
For helping Isaac create you.
もう隠し事はなしだ。
No more secrets. Let's go. Alright, tell me everything. We smile at each other and then... Oh no! My chest to the horologium burns with an excruciating heat. I feel like the end of the chapter is coming.
カルディア。
I can't speak and fall to the ground.
カルディア、どうしたの？カルディア。
I hear Victor's voice from a distance. Unable to respond, I feel my consciousness drift into the depths of darkness. The end. Game over. Chapter 11. We don't get to know his secret until next chapter. Alright, there's no weird music or talking that I have to wait for. So that is the end of chapter 10. That was 10, wasn't it? Not too long, about an hour and a half. Lots of things have been revealed. Now we gotta know what happens next. Victor was my first route that I played, and I absolutely fell in love with the game during his route. And I mean, fell in love with him, fell in love with the game, the idea of the... Because when I first started playing, I'm like, oh, poisonous girl. It means there's going to be no kissing CGs. There's not going to be any intimacy. What kind of a Tomy game is this? So, but yeah. Obviously, with Impy's route, there is some ways to get around her poison. And unfortunately, Van Helsing just didn't get one of those in his route. Saint Germain, he just can't make up his mind. I like him too a lot. I think he's still my favorite, but he is very wishy-washy in his route. I guess Lupin is pretty intimate too, now that I'm thinking about it, but he's last. He's the more gentlemanly of them. Obviously, he's the gentleman thief, but he's more, I guess, I don't know, respective of her space. I don't even know anymore. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if I'll be able to get another video out by the end of this week because I have a little bit of the stuff to prepare for. I have a D&D game on Saturday. It's going to be the last game of my campaign, so I have to make sure that everything is completely planned out. I have to get the epilogue all planned out and stuff like that, so that way we can end on a good note for the players. And then we're going to be starting my brother's game, and we're going to do some character building at the end of Saturday. And then Sunday, I usually just take Sunday to just play video games without worrying about recording or anything like that. Me and my husband, we just play games. We're probably gonna play PAX Day Alpha. I only played that one day, and I need to play more so I can get some more footage recorded. I haven't even edited any of that yet, so I'll probably do some editing on that. I don't know, maybe a little bit Sunday, probably Monday. But yeah, I probably wouldn't expect another Victor video until next week, unfortunately. But there's just so much stuff to do, and there's not enough not enough time in the world for it. But that's just how it goes. But anyways, if you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up down below. It really does help promote the video through the YouTube algorithm and all that, so more people can view it. The more views that it gets, the more it will show up in feed and all that, because that's just how YouTube is. And subscribe if you want to see more of Victor's route and later on Saint Germain and Lupin. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.